When was Israel founded?
In 1948, but how? So what is necessary for a country to have? A flag, a language, and of course land. The land on which Israel was established, Israel turned into an open-air prison after forcibly evicting people from their homes, imprisoning young people for no reason, and killing thousands of civilians. During the holy month of Ramadan, Israel bombs houses and streets and keeps children locked in cages. Of course, Israel doesn't do this to its own citizens, only to Palestinians, because the land where Israel is today was formerly Palestinian land. But how did Israel get here? It could not achieve this alone. Where would it find land to establish its state, and who would give Zionists the land? In order to understand this, we have to go back to 1890s and open Google Maps. Oops, I completely forgot that they have removed Palestine from there. But don't worry, I have my own map. It's fair to say that everything started at the first Zionist Congress in Switzerland in 1897 with the book The Jewish State, written by the journalist Theodor Herzl, who called for the establishment of a Jewish homeland. At the same time, the first wave of Jewish immigration to Palestine began, with most immigrants coming from Europe. Beginning in 1560 and through the First World War, Palestine and its surrounding territories were under Ottoman rule. It was a land where members of three religions lived together in peace and harmony. Until 1917, when Britain occupied the entire region and issued the Balfour Declaration, declaring its support for the establishment of a national Jewish home in Palestine. This was a great impetus for the Zionist movement. Immigration began and continued rapidly. After the First World War, Britain received Palestine as a mandate from the League of Nations. And a few years later, 11% of total population of Palestine consisted of newly arrived Jews. In 1937, it was proposed that this region should be divided between an Arab and a Jewish state. While in 1947, the jurisdiction was transferred from Britain to the United Nations. Jews made up 1/3 of the population that year. However, only 6% of the land then was in their hands. After the Second World War, the UN proposed a partition according to which 56.47% of Palestine would belong to the Jewish state and 43.53% to the Arab state. Jerusalem would be under an international administration. And then that day came. The Nakba, which means catastrophe. On May 14, 1948, at 4 p.m. in Tel Aviv, the establishment of the State of Israel was announced and was followed by the ethnic cleansing of Palestine, organized by Zionist militias in Arabic villages. 700,000 Palestinians were forced to leave their homes and land. 1967 is remembered for the Arab-Israeli War, which changed the map of Palestine in just 6 days. According to UN data, another 500,000 Palestinians became refugees during this war. In the years that followed, the Palestinians, unable to bear Israeli occupation, launched the First Intifada in 1987. In an uprising that spread across the country and lasted until 1993, with thousands killed. In 2000, the Second Intifada took place and was even bloodier than the first. In 2002, Palestinian cities were frequently attacked, cut off from each other, besieged, and placed under curfew for long periods of time. In 2005, Israel withdrew from Gaza and certain parts of the occupied West Bank, but began to block Gaza by sea, land, and air. That same year, in the Palestinian general elections, Hamas won the majority of Palestinian votes and came into power in Gaza. This led to the creation of two separate administrations in the Palestinian territories, Gaza under the control of Hamas and the occupied West Bank under the control of the Palestinian National Authority. In the meantime, as if all this was not enough, in 2017, US President Trump officially recognized Israel's long-standing attempt to declare Jerusalem as its capital. Today, Israel occupies 85% of Palestinian land. The creation of Israel has cost tens of thousands of lives, millions of displaced people, incalculable material damage, countless unfulfilled children's dreams, the freedom of the Palestinian people. In short, this is not a conflict, this is an occupation. So now you can decide who is occupied and who is the occupier.